Willie Moe Jr. here. What up, family? So today is Ask Willie, okay? Ask Willie anything. And today I have a young lady who says, Willie Moore Jr., my son wants to be a rapper. The problem is he writes all his lyrics in his phone. He is not a people person, and he barely even really talks. The good thing is he has 2 jobs. The bad thing is he's planning on quitting both of his jobs to become a rapper. I need some help. Let me tell you this. I understand. I totally understand that he has these 2 jobs. First of all, I don't know how old he is, okay? But if he in that 20 to 30 range, this is the perfect time for him to do some of the stuff that may seem crazy to you. You know, the thing that I understand about job, the job simply means just over broke, right? You got a really good job, and other people you know have a good job. And I noticed that like more than 80% of the Americans across the country, they live from check to check with a beautiful J-O-B. You know, there are some gifts on the inside of your son that he may be trying to tap into, but as a loving parent, it's just important that you support these efforts, because one thing can lead to another. You say, Willie Moe Jr., how do I know that? You know, I was in college at the University of Mississippi with a full ride scholarship, and I ended up making a song called Roll With Me. And I had to walk in and tell my mother and father that I was going to not go back to college the next year because I was going to be a rapper. Now, I don't know how disappointed or how excited my mother and my father was with me making this irrational decision at the time. But what they did was they supported my efforts in trying to do something for myself as an independent person. You know, a lot of times, just because we don't know the system in which our children are attempting to use, it doesn't mean that we can't support it just because we don't understand it, right? Just because, just because we don't understand doesn't mean that we can't support. You know, the thing is now you got to know that as your son, if he's between that 20 and 30, by the time he's 60, ain't going to be no pension and ain't no retirement in these United States of America if you guys are in the United States. Ain't nobody trying to take care of him. And so what I understand now is that there are a lot more options with the aggressive, most amazing tool that the Lord has given us with the internet, that there's an opportunity for every person to create a niche market or a niche market, depending on how you say it. And that may be exactly what your son is going to do. So after I signed with Universal Records, after only 1 year of walking away from college, of course, my mother and father was proud. Now, my album didn't really do too much, so I ended up becoming an independent artist, and I did pretty well there, but that still didn't quite hit the masses the way I wanted it to. But here's the thing, sitting in front of those stages, I developed a gift of being able to be in front of people. One of the scariest things for anybody to do is stand in front of people and speak in public places. And so that gift took me on stages all around the world with tens and 20,000s of people. So now I get an opportunity on this side of things to not be afraid when I get on stages, right? And so that once effort of supporting something that may not have seemed like the right thing to do for my parents gave me the faith to step out on faith and move to Atlanta and now become the #1 radio host in the United States of America when it comes to the inspirational format. And so what I'm telling you is this: even though you may not understand, it's so important that you support. The seed that you plant right now of support, he will never forget that his mama supported something that she didn't understand, but she prayed on. And so I want you to pray for him and see how you can support. Maybe you say you need me to buy you some pens or something, right? Whatever you got to do, but just understand, don't kill somebody's dream. Chances are somebody probably killed yours, and you were forced to be in a job for years and years and years that you may not necessarily enjoy. Life is not something that it's a dress rehearsal. We live and live in color right now. So if we live and live in color right now, it's important that we do what we feel that we're called to do. But the one thing that I know about God, if you feel like God is calling you to a place or something, like if you attempt to do something by faith, he ain't gonna let you fail. If you thought God said you were supposed to move to Atlanta and you ended up in Alabama, he's gonna find a way to get you to Alabama. If he's supposed to be a rapper, he feel like God said, hey, you got to go out there and be a rapper, and then God really said that you were supposed to be a speaker, he's going to find a way for him to speak. And so as a parent, I want to see you do something that most parents have never done. Support something that you don't understand. I know that's really, really hard because you're afraid and you have a vision for your son's life. But God also has a vision for your son's life. And he has to go through his go-through until he gets to the vision that God has for him. I hope my advice helps. Yeah, ask Willie. If you too want to find, get some solutions to your problems and your issues, I'm going to do my best to help you to the best of my ability. All you got to do is use the hashtag Ask Willie, go into my DM, and I will do my best to answer your questions. And preferably, I'll give you the wisdom that I feel like the Lord is giving me. All right?